we are already going through this draft here as far as these two teams. But complexity, I will say they're the first team today. They have their full roster. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and I was surprised by that because Russia is actually living in Korea now.
I heard about that. Yeah, he's over there in, was it Korea or Japan? I guess it is Korea. Yeah, it was Korea.
Korea, South Korea, not North Korea.
Yeah, no, that would be weird.
No, I think it's in Seoul, and he actually took the flight directly from Sweden to Korea.
Did he? Okay.
I think he's living with his girlfriend right now.
Jeez.
And yeah, he's got 240 ping, but I mean, I guess that's doable.
I mean, Asuka's used to it, like to an
Good
extent,
point.
and of course the famous Slicks has done it many. Yeah, obviously he's not like he's been playing on it all the time by any means, so there's a little bit of justification there if he's not really used to it yet. But I believe he's been TMMing. I know that for a fact. Trying to get used to it, and we'll see. And I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing for now, or if that's just like for the time being, but that'll be interesting to see how that is moving forward. But
I guess it depends on how it works out here today as well.
Yeah, that's
First
a good point.
Game,
That's a good point. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, good. It's definitely a solid matchup we got for you guys. So this definitely should be a good one here. We are looking at the bands, the second tier of bands. So let's look at the picks. Let's start with the first bands even. Moira, Warbeast, Parasite, and Ophelia is what we had. We had Behemoth, first picked into Midas, Clanks into Swiftblade, Andromeda into that Dr. Repulsor. So, Behemoth first pick, though. Druid's putting some value there.
Yeah, never been a fan of it, but I think it's easy to counter, especially if you run it in the secondary support role, which right now I would say is the most likely option. Because I know that Druids likes to run those kind of offensive tri-lanes with Clanks, and Andromeda and Behemoth, well, they complement the Clanks pretty well with the bang ability and all. But yeah, it could be the Suicide Behemoth, of course, still, so we need to keep an eye open for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the picks to follow now, or we're going to start finding out right here as the next tier of bands happen. It was, what was it? It was Tempest into Magnus, Legionnaire into Bubbles, Cthulhu Font into Moraxis. A lot of beefy heroes, a lot of tankier heroes, a lot of mid heroes really being banned out there. But one that's left open is Kraken, and Druids will pick him up here instead for their side. So they got another good initiator here, as well as just some good middle presence. So we'll probably see. But yeah, where will that Behemoth end up is definitely still kind of the question here.
I mean, I think they have to put him in the secondary support role. I mean, I don't see him playing Suicide in this game. It doesn't speak to me, at least. Not when I have the Kraken now as well. But I mean, what Legion team really lack at this point is some kind of like scare factor early on. I feel like they need something that can actually set up kills.
Yeah.
So far they don't. They have the Kraken and Andromeda, but both of them, well, Kraken needs to connect with the charge, and Andromeda needs to get really close by to actually hit the Comet stun.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have to see. And both Midas and Swiftblade are very tough heroes to kill early on as well. I mean, obviously they can just Swiftblade can Blade Frenzy, and the Midas can just Elemental Warp out of the Comet Stun as well. So a Luna here by the Hellborn team, though. I like that.
Why do you like it, though? Because Luna's not a popular nor a high win percentage hero.
No, but I mean, it had some success during DreamHack. It's safe to say, with that 5-second stun now, stunning through 8 targets in level 4 with Emerald Lightning. And it's very, very strong in the early game, especially if you're up versus an offensive tri-lane, which I kind of predicted at least, or assumed that the Druids are looking into. The Andromeda, Clanks, and Behemoth. I feel like the Andromeda with the Power Throw could do pretty well, especially versus Andromeda in 1-versus-1 situations.
You know another hero that's really good against tri-lanes, or as a tri-lane that we just do not see anymore, what we used to see when we saw tri-lanes, is Myrmidon. And Myrmidon did get a buffed, actually, too. Actually got several buffs, including the Magic Carpet's now AoE even. So, man, that would be fun to see. But we're not going to see it here, of course.
I agree.
But
It's just the fact that, like, the hero tapers off big time. Like,
no!
It just...
Get another Parasite.
I mean, if you compare it to, like, an Andromeda who has the swap, which is useful throughout the entire game, it can be, like, a saving grace, even win a team fight if you swap the Clanks. I mean, Myrmidon, if Clanks gets in trouble, what's Myrmidon going to do?
Yeah, Myrmidon's ulti is all about him. Yeah, it's not about helping. Yeah,
exactly. So it's not necessarily like the best support option, I feel. Cersei, though, what? So it is a suicide behemoth then? Or
it has to be, right? I mean, they have Andromeda too, so
unless they run Clanks, Andromeda, Cersei, offensive or something, and have behemoth in the safe lane.
You know, Cersei actually does have potential to be suicide as well, to be honest. The Deceive ability does allow her to kind of have a presence in suicide. I'm not saying that is going to be the case here, but it's not. I don't think it'd be out of the question by any means. But
I mean, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It certainly has some potential with that invisibility, but I mean, I still don't see why you would actually give up one lane just to get a Cersei some levels.
Yeah.
It doesn't speak to me.
Yeah, she doesn't necessarily need items, obviously, and she is just all about... So, I mean, honestly, I do think the potential of Suicide Cersei would even almost be better than Behemoth, because you want that portal key ASAP on Behemoth at the same time, so...
But are you going to get it done, though, in the forest? I mean, you need to make sure that actually you pull the lane and start up those stacks and all that kind of stuff, and then the problem is where's Clank's going to go off the laning phase when he gets the Claw. I mean, he can go into transition into the jungle, and Behemoth can take the safe lane and try to reach that portal key timing, but... Yeah, I just don't see that them being able to kill the suicide, whatever it is from the Hellborn side. If it is a Midas suicide, and what is it? Is it an offensive tri-lane from Complexity?
Maybe. Yeah, you know, that's the only thing that makes sense, really, because, yeah, both Doctor and Midas are more of the solo heroes, definitely, so...
I mean, the way that they have been swapping up the heroes as well, I mean, what you got being the Forest player, playing the Fade, I mean, it tells me that they are running an offensive Doctor tri-lane here. Yeah. Fade, Aluna, Doctor, Repulsor. I think that's the case at least, but if I like it, I'm not entirely sure about. I mean, Behemoth is a great hero to prevent that kind of early aggression with that long-range Fissure stun. And then they got the Cersei as well, kind of a difficult hero to pick off, but I guess it doesn't deal too much damage. I don't know. This is interesting indeed. I have no clue how they're going to build these lanes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Not 100% sure. I will say Serenia is the one playing Cersei in the end, and yeah, so it is going to be definitely a true support Cersei, of course, and Serenia does have plenty of experience playing this hero as well, so this is kind of one of his more comfortable heroes, I think it's safe to say. We have seen several times before, so is this... Okay, so Masera short lane Behemoth starting here.
Yeah.
With the hatchet.
And it is going to be an offensive tri-lane.
Interesting. Okay. Wait, where is the...
Yeah, I mean, this would have been successful, I think, for Druids if the Hellborn team was actually, laning this correctly. But seeing as they're going for an offensive tri-lane themselves, I think that Behemoth is going to be in tons of trouble. He does not have an escape. Neither does Doctor Repulsor, though. He's actually in the safe lane. It's not going to be a Doctor tri-lane. It's going to be a what? A Swiftblade tri-lane? I don't know about that. I would have preferred to see Doctor on the tri-lane.
Really? Instead of the Swiftblade?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it might sound a little bit odd, but especially with the Fissure and all, I mean, he's usually having trouble to actually connect with the spin. Yeah. As long as Masera knows, places correct Fissures. And I know that Masera plays a really deadly Behemoth, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but... okay, yeah, we will see how this turns out. I mean, if they get a stun off on the Behemoth, he's dead 100%.
Yeah, so Masera's going to have to be very careful with this. For right now, obviously, he sees a Luna and Swiftblade, but whether or not he's aware that Fade's nearby, I mean, it's probably a good assumption, because where else would she be? To be honest, very likely not going to get the top lane, and definitely not babysitting Midas middle lane. So yeah, it's safe to say he's pretty aware that something's up, and he is planning pretty defensively right here.
And unfortunately for him, he didn't block the Archer either, so the lane is going to push straight away. Now he needs to block his own creeps, I think. It's not often that you see a safe lane Behemoth actually, blocking creeps, but yeah. I think he's going to be forced to do so sooner or later. Yeah, I don't like Aluna's position, though. I feel like he should be in the forest rather than behind Swiftblade.
Yeah, so he can kind of poke in there and do some damage to Behemoth, but...
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree there. And that's interesting.
Get rid of that mana pot now as well, for example. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to pot up if Aluna just had a position in the left side, but for some reason she sticks to Swiftblade. And I mean, it's safe to... I mean, it would have been one thing if everyone from the leading team was missing. or if she didn't know the position of Andromeda and Cersei, but she can clearly see that there are 3 people top, so don't really see any reason for why you would want to stick behind your carry at this point.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. And actually, Behemoth is in a little bit of trouble. Luna's out of range for a stun, though. Trying to maybe get assistance with the creeps, but wasn't going to be in range, so in the end, Behemoth is good and survives through that spin damage. But yeah, I mean, obviously we mentioned Baba Ganoush having to deal with that latency playing from South Korea here, but that has nothing to do with latency, of course. That's just simply a very an odd decision on his part to choose to not play the aggressive manner instead of playing it very defensively. And yeah, it is allowing Behemoth to actually get some pretty damn good experience here. I mean, the fact that he's already level 3 with the creep lane out of position like this, it tells you something that they're not really playing it the best here against him. But, you know, now they're going to start boxing him out a little bit, obviously with the creep wave pushed up here. Fade did rotate to the middle lane. He pressured Kraken a little bit early on, but Kraken now in a point where he doesn't have to worry about it too much here. But you do have a level 1 Fade in the meantime. You're not necessarily something you want to see if you're Complexity. So.
No, they should have Dr. Repulsor in Forest, I think. Just take a note from Slap's book and just jungle him instead. I mean, why not? I mean, if he's not getting anything at the top. Then Fade can just be up here at the top lane, try to soak some experience instead.
Top lane, Dr. Repulsor. Yeah, speaking of him, he is in trouble right here. He's going to be
Why
fine,
is
though.
Andromeda not using his stun, though?
Stun.
What happened?
I'm guessing she was out of range. Like, that's the only explanation.
She must have lost vision or something.
Yeah.
Because she was in range. I can say that for sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is.
Maybe
it did seem close enough. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I think it was then. Yeah, it was just hidden, and one of those issues where you like click on him and then it goes in the animation, but then it stops because he goes in black. Yeah.
I think the entrapment gives vision though when it hits, and I think they connected onto Dr. Repulsor. So yeah, either way, he's gonna live Dr. Repulsor for now, but he should rotate into the forest, and that's exactly what he's gonna do here.
That's what he's doing. In the meantime, middle lane, they try to pressure Kraken yet again, but in fact, both support's coming over, but Kraken way too quick. He reacts to it, and it does survive, so... And yeah, both supports now, they're thinking about maybe going to the top lane, but again, they're under level now. You got a level 1 Fade and a level 2 Aluna. I mean, granted, Cersei and Andromeda are only level 2 themselves, so I guess it's not too crazy there, but...
It's still terrible, I would say, for Complexity at this point. I mean, you cannot allow a Behemoth to be level 5 at this point. I mean, especially when the lane was pushing that early on. I mean, they should have killed him immediately, I feel. Or at least force him out of experience. They should have sticked with Fade down there for like 30 seconds or something, just try to get a kill, something. But because right now, I mean, Fade level 1 and Luna level 2, I mean, it's disastrous. Cersei and Andromeda is going to be useful throughout the entire game, but Luna and Fade, they kind of need some kind of early aggression coming out.
How is this middle matchup going overall? Is dropping him from 60 to 54, yeah, so... Clank seems like he definitely do. And obviously the downside of this, too, playing the aggressive Trilon, is that he can't necessarily transition into the jungle as easily with the early Thunderclaw and whatnot, as we see all the time. So, but Kraken 26-2, we got Midas 28-2. So Haxron's actually doing really well considering he's been pressured a couple times here, especially in the middle lane. But he's definitely holding his ground. In fact, he hits level 6 first, as we see here. So.
He's doing pretty well, and the same thing was when Sibbe was playing versus Tassi on Meraxes in the first game. Meraxes was actually ahead in gold per minute for a short while there, so it seems like Kraken is, or Melee Heroes isn't necessarily doing too shabby versus Midas here in the mid lane.
Dr. Repulsor, he's transitioning into that jungler, as we see, and, you know, stacking the camps, using that, as I call it, the electric turret of his, and doing some nice AoE damage, getting a couple more creep kills. Doesn't have a bottle, though. We saw Slap go that first out of bottle with the jungle. Oh, top lane, Fade goes down. I happened to catch it at the last second as he was trying to run back to the tower, but clearly too much damage. So, yeah, they were trying to get him some levels and a little bit of farm, but again, already being under-leveled. It's pretty risky to play aggressive like that and eventually gets picked off.
You have the 2 supports at the top lane. Like,
yeah.
Odd situation.
That's not usually a good thing as far as what Complexity's doing here. Yeah, they transitioned their what you would think they would want to be their carry and the Doctor into more of a jungler. They transitioned their secondary support into trying to short lane farm, and that's not working. So, yeah, Complexity kind of seems a little lost right here. As I say that, though, I mean, both Swiftblade and Midas are doing very well here in the meantime. In fact, Formless playing that Swiftblade, he's 330 gold per minute right now, so... he is managing pretty good. Clanks is about 340 GPM himself. And actually doesn't look like he's going right into the Thunderclaw. He's at least getting a Soul Scream ring first.
Yeah, potentially the Energizer. I don't know. Maybe I think the Probox usually just likes to go for Soul Scream ring and then just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Just for some extra survivability, I guess, or some extra early stats.
Yeah, it just seems for how often we saw him at DreamHack and how well he did, of course, Imba Boy specifically, not for a reason. It's just that right away Thunderclaw just seemed to be the strat. Just get that ASAP, start taking out some stacked camps, and it just snowballs ridiculously. So, and on top of that, it's also decent for assisting in team fights. It's actually really good damage output, obviously, on top of it all. So, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily like the idea of even investing in the Soul Scream ring first, to be honest, but. He is saving up a little bit of gold here.
Maybe it's because he's got a little bit of a lower level than he usually is when he's in the safe lane. Just because he had 2 supports to share experience with, so he's like, okay, I'm not quite ready to transition into the force yet. I want level 7 or something like that before I get my final claw. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, he's doing a fantastic job so far. I mean, almost 380 gold per minute. I'm not sure who got it first blood. I don't think it was the Clanks. I think it was Iceland Gogo and Andromeda. Look at the bot lane, by the way. Fade is down here, but look at the port coming in from Druids.
Yep, they're going to go on to Behemoth. He launches out the Shockwave, did some good damage right there. Fade will end up falling as a result. Now Swiftblade, he has to try to get away, so TV support. But honestly, that was really Behemoth just doing most of the work right there as they tried to jump him in. What you got just simply only level 2. I mean, that's really all there is to it right there. He's still level 2, and that's not going to last.
That was a little bit lucky by Druids as well. I mean, I think that transition by Clanks was, I mean, it wasn't to counter the Fade gank. Oh, look at the mid, by the way.
Trying Dr. Repulsor, flying around with a haste rune. He's fine. Tried to make something happen there, but ultimately doesn't work out. The supports are nearby. Helps save the day, so.
And Formless is going to find Andromeda. That's an easy kill if he wants to go for
R,
it.
press R. He didn't press R. You got to press R, Formless.
Damn. What was that?
I don't know. You don't want to press R.
If you're running in the enemy forest as well, I mean, then you're usually on top of these things. Like, you got your fingers ready for either the frenzy or, oh my god, he's gonna, oh my god, that's so clever.
Do it? Was that an illusion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
wasn't it? Oh, they baited it out. Oh, jeez, that's embarrassing. So, you almost got to wonder if that's what he thought it was initially, and that's why he didn't do it right away. Because that is true. They are going against the Cersei, and that's something you always have to be ready for. Is it an illusion or is it the real thing? So maybe it was that, and then it just so happens that the one that is fake, he uses it on. It gets it backfires there. Swiftblade in the meantime, he's spinning away, trying to survive Andromeda though. Gonna try to hero block a little bit, not gonna be successful though. The bang, there's the entrapment, and down goes Formless. That's just gotta be a really frustrating sequence of events right there.
Yeah.
For Swiftblade, so.
Well played by Druids, though. Yeah, rotations are definitely working out for them so far. Can't say the same for the Hellborn team, unfortunately.
No.
Fastislav is doing a really good job on Midas, though. He's 350 gold per minute, and he was actually complaining about headache and stuff before the game. He said he tried to take a nap and all to get rid of it, but he wasn't successful. But so far, I mean, we certainly can't tell that he's having problems. The headache doing this well. This early on, and look at his gold per minute. I mean, he's closing in to that portal key if he chooses to go for it. He could even get an Astro already at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I wonder what. I mean, do you think? I assume it's going to be a portal key here. Looks like it is. 900 gold saved up, so.
I don't know though. I'm not too comfortable with him going portal key at this point.
No.
I mean, sure, you could, but I mean, who's going to follow up? Or like, you're not going to be able to get solo kills.
I mean, you have a level 3 Andromeda and a level 5 Cersei. I think you can
get that's true, but I mean, you still need to be having map vision in that case, and they're usually going to be hidden on their side of the map, so it's going to be problematic. It would have been one thing if Fade was level 6 or having a good time, then it would have been much easier. Maybe they're looking to do so now. Hopefully, Fade gets level 6 and he's trying to go for the kill. But
he is level 5 here. He actually is starting to get finally some good levels here, so. Yeah, he does get the portal key in exactly. Fade should be level 6, in fact, after this pole camp possibly. We'll see if that's the case, and maybe he can start looking for some kills with that, but... Yeah,
I guess Astro wouldn't benefit him too much either, so I mean, a portal key you are going to get sooner or later, so why not sooner?
yeah, look for those kills and maybe get some yourself. If not, wait a little bit for the levels around your teammates to add up. But
now it's displayed right away, by the way, by that failed gank, unfortunately.
So, Druid's very aware that he does have the PK now. Speaking of that, Behemoth working on his still. 900 gold saved up, so not there just yet, but...
Oh, Behemoth, by the way.
Best, yeah. That was a good play right there. Even stole a couple of creep kills. And ran away. Oh, didn't catch that, but Andromeda is found by Dr. Repulsor. Ends up being a solo kill. So
yeah, well played by Oscar. The ward spotting him out.
Yep. Here was some
Behemoth, by the way, is still up here. He's got vision. He's gonna try to go for the... No?
I mean, they know the ward's here now, obviously. Yeah, they counted it right there, so... Okay.
I think that if they rotate Clanks into the forest, they shouldn't have Cersei being the one soaking bottom, though. I feel like Behemoth should be down here farming his bulky. I don't see why he's at the suicide lane at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. Down at the bottom. I mean, once again, Cernia is the one taking the farm here. And, I mean, you kind of stressed it or pointed it out as well that Cersei is not really the kind of hero that needs items to be useful. Behemoth whatsoever, he needs a bulky. And he's just doing nothing at the top lane.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% agree. So, definitely some communication errors going on right there. We do see triple stack Ancients, though, coming out from Clanks. Now, Behemoth is over here. I wonder if he's going to try to maybe take some kills. But yeah, bottom lane, Cersei in trouble. Dr. Repulsor flies in, pulls him back. And the assistance from Midas sets up the easy kill. So, good coordination right there. But once again, back to the Ancients. It looks like Clanks did get most, if not all of them there, when it's all said and done. And actually has a life tube now purchased. So, it looks like the Nullstone option going to be happening here for Probusk. Likes to go more of the defensive and farm-heavy builds. Usually,
what
so.
What is the Imba boy usually does? Does he also go for the Nullstone? After?
I don't think so. I think he goes right into Firebrand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I almost feel like Nullstone is a little bit too defensive.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the difference of playstyle, I think, at the same time. Because Probusk, this is his style. He usually likes to get a lot of these stats and a lot of the defensiveness early on, no matter what he's playing. As far as carry goes.
We got Polki now on Kraken, by the way, here in the mid lane. Might be looking to set something up together with Iceland Gogo. Fade, though, he got an Invis, and there is no Word of Revelation or Dust on the Legion side, so I don't think they're going to be successful. No.
Yeah, that was close. But missing right there, so yeah, staying alive for now. And yeah, it's level 7, but yeah, it's pointed out no Dust or anything like that on the Legion side, so let's see if he... Once again, gets an opportunity here, but Ancient's being taken out by the Hellborn team this time. It's Dr. Repulsor and Midas kind of split some farm right there. Midas already another 1,500 gold saved up. So he's doing pretty well here. 375 GPM, but you compare that to Clanks, again, 470 gold per minute and counting. That's just going to continue to go up and up. This is one of the highest GPM farming heroes in the game, and for very good reason. His skill set, just every single one of his abilities, they're so good for farming in the end. So, and it shows when it comes to the GPM charts usually. So yeah, up there yet again. Swiftblade, formless, you know, in that long lane there. He's now been in the short lane for a little bit. He does have the Abyssal
Yeah, look
skull.
at the bot lane. They're setting it up, and with that Word of Revelation, he's not gonna spot them.
And that's another reason for Cersei why she's decent. It spots incoming ganks. It does pop out Veiled Rot, so that completely thwarts their plans there.
Yeah, nice heads up once again by Sarnia.
Yeah, again, he's somewhat comfortable playing this hero, so he knows what he's doing when it comes to
Look at the top, though. They are getting a tier 1 tower up here.
Yeah.
Or they are going to in the near future, at least, unless the Legion team actually decides to defend it. Behemoth is close to level 11, I would assume, and he's close to the Polki as well, so that could be the kind of timing that Legion team are looking for. Unless they're confident or comfortable enough sitting back and just letting Clanks continuing to farm, but...
I don't think that was necessary for his release the Kraken, to be honest. But at the same time, you know, really just in case maybe it's important news here by bottom lane, though. Behemoth, he gets jumping at what cost here in Entrapment. And there's the takeover from Serenia right there. Gets Dr. Repulsor. He's flying in now, locking down Fade. Fade's in trouble. Fade does not have his ultimate up. And he, too, will go down. A 2 for one exchange, kind of making a 3-for-1, as obviously there was the pick on Aluna before all this. Meanwhile, Serenia's Dr. Repulsor is going to be fine coming out of the farm. You see Swiftblade trying to get there in time, does have the R. It is level 2, but no, he can't get close enough, and he decides to fall back.
Kraken running over as well with a DD. I think he feared that.
Yeah. No, they're going to be fine, though. So, but another crazy clash there between the two teams. And then Druids comes out on top, though.
Setting up those return kills beautifully with the Dr. Repulsor jump and a takeover. I mean, it's just so deadly. Complexity, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with that when it comes to the late game. I guess Dr. Repulsor can jump in and Fade can stay behind as well in his ultimate and try to focus Cersei 100%, but...
Yeah, that's going to be some issues. But I was actually thinking about Cersei as well, and I will say the lineup that they're going up against, it's not the greatest lineup to have a Cersei against in what she takes over. Because, by the late game, sure, when she has a level 3 ultimate where she's doing 100% of the damage, yeah, Swiftblade, the Dr. Repulsor especially will be great. But, there's not that big ulti. There's not the Keeper, the Behemoth, things like that. The Kraken even, that big lockdown ability, a Tempest especially, that she could take over to use earlier on in the game and throughout most of it even. So that does, hurt her a little bit as far as her potential. But it's still obviously pretty good at the same time.
Yeah. No, but I see your point. There's not like the Tempest factor, for example. Yeah, I mean, when Sheepsticks gets into the picture as well, I mean, it's always going to be nice to get one of those.
Oh, down here, sending in the illusion. Gonna continue to scout with it, but ultimately, Doctor getting the distance there. And it's fine. Fuzzy's Lost choosing to go the Tablet of Command as well, and, against Kraken especially, good item to have.
Look at Behemoth at the top lane, by the way.
He's going to jump Fade.
No,
he used the shock to open, but he didn't do it. Yeah, the Fissure Stun. Not enough mana.
He had strength steam boots.
That's unfortunate. And you see Fade gets away. So what you
got? Had enough.
Yeah, he also got a little lucky there, but he'll take it. Oh, Dr. Repulsor in the meantime gets caught, but that good old ludicrous speed of his, he is going to be fine. He's flying back in. Even he has a regen room, by the way. That is big. He had it bottled up, so Kraken going to be fine with a swap out. But look at the dodge on the Comet Stun even, and it's still activated on Dr. Repulsor. So well played right there by Asuka. And he's going to go back to full life and full mana when it's all said and done. And meanwhile, top tower kill happens. So well played. And a little bit of momentum there for Complexity coming out. But only means so much when you have a Clanks who's, 549 GPM here. And what did he just buy? Mighty Blade, okay. So a Shrunken.
Are you sure?
I assume? It's Dr. Repulsor.
It is Robot.
Okay, he's going to be fine. That's if anything why I say it is because, again, he goes a very defensive style a lot of the time, so.
Yeah, but Ice Brand,
Ice Brand, yeah, no, there's no way.
I don't know, he's the kind of guy that picks up the Ice Brand. Like, he's the only carry player that likes the Ice Brand.
He wouldn't do that. Cross the Skull is pretty good overall on him, definitely, but I think it's going to be a Shrunken. And I think there's good reason for it, too, against the Soulborn side, so. Again, his damage output still could be pretty damn good. The Thunderclaw, as well as his skill set, does allow him to do some decent damage here, even though he has a Nullstone and now possibly a Shrunken on top of that.
And look at Dr. Repulsor, by the way. He's smoked up down here, and who's coming in? Aluna, as well as the Midas. This might be a kill. Do they have a Nullstone Canceller? They don't really have one.
They got Aluna,
not a good
kinda.
one. Yeah, I am thinking about, Dr. Repulsor is not going to be able to jump on his own.
You're right, though. Yeah, they don't have the strongest for canceling. So, I mean, that is another reason why the Nullstone may be proving to be a decent pickup here.
Yeah, making a little bit more sense now when you look at it this way. Oh, Fade, by the way. That is an illusion, though. Don't fall for it.
Is that was the real one?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. Even we have trouble as the spectators. It's ridiculous.
Oh, maybe it was real
no,
one.
That is the fake Cersei. But yeah, no, this is the real Andromeda, definitely over there.
Why didn't he go for it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, what are they thinking? It's like, I mean, they don't know that though, so you don't want to go all out. And it's hard to judge on those squishy supports too, because it's like you can hit them and you're like, well, are you just that like not tanky, or is that actually an illusion? It really is hard to tell sometimes. So. Until you actually kill them, you're like, and it pops up with a text that you killed them. It's like, oh, I guess it was real. So, but tower exchanging going on right here.
Yeah, it seems like neither team are really that comfortable on taking team fights right now, so they're just split pushing and just dodging each other more or less.
I noticed the announcer is not saying when towers are dead. It's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I don't know if that's the same thing for you, if that's just me, but it's like the towers go down. And I'm so used to like an announcer saying something about it, but
yeah,
it's kind of an
a good
issue.
Point.
Actually, I don't know if that's a bug or whatever, but anyways, 22 minutes in. Oh, Midas, but that's an illusion, so never mind. This is just going to continue to happen more and more because especially now Serenia has that Ring of Sorcery here, so has plenty of mana to do this constantly. And you know, it's not only just an annoying tool that to go up against if you're complexity, but it's also just constant vision. It's movable wards. Is what it really is from Druid. So
and they are down here at the bot lane once again, by the way, and this time they got an Ozone Canceller on the tablet.
Jumping onto Clanks, there's the follow-up. They got the Ozone taken care of. Will this be enough in the end? It looks like it should be. Yep, so will. I mean, he tried to hold his ground somewhat, but yeah, too much lockdown and damage there between Doctor and Midas, so ends up being a great jump, and he was pretty far out with no tower nearby for TP support, so a little bit of that is definitely on Probusk in terms of his positioning right there.
Fade, by the way, picked up a Polki and he's charging after Andromeda. I'm not gonna find him though.
Who got the Portkey?
Fade.
Fade, okay. Yeah, Fade did. Oh, no, he's not going to find anyone. But I was also going to say, especially since Clanks just bought a Shrunken, but it wasn't delivered yet, so it's actually on the courier. If he had the Shrunken there, maybe a different story, but
yeah, then it probably would have been fine. 10-second and all.
Icon of the Goddess, finished on Asuka. Coming out right
really?
here.
He went for it? Damn, I do not agree with that choice.
Yeah, not a fan.
I mean, this is a game that has only had 6 and 5 hero kills so far, and I'm not really seeing the team factor happening anytime soon because Complexity is just that kind of team that always dodges. So going for an icon that is so dependent on getting hero kills, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, map control is definitely going to be huge this game. We talked about Cersei and what she's able to do with the constant illusion spawning, but, you know, Fade's obviously very good for that as well, and, you know, eventually something like a Bound Eye, too, is what, if history tells us anything. In fact, Aluna currently has the Bound Eye, so I'm actually kind of curious about that. You'd think that would be better on Fade, to be honest. But currently holding it there. Midas, he's looking for an opportunity, but not going to really find one just yet. As, yep, that was just an illusion.
So much farm, even though he's always like running around in the enemy forest looking for these kind of kills. I mean, he's just 410 gold per minute, and he's closing in on a freaking ship stick.
Yep.
Or closing in like his 2k gold away, more or less. That's quite impressive by Fuzzy.
Fuzzy Sloth, definitely another fantastic Midas player. We're coming back-to-back series here. Zibe's definitely one of the best on it, and Fuzzy Sloth, another case of that. He's up there as well, so showing why. Interesting item choice here from Swiftblade. He goes the Assassin Shroud as his damage tool here.
Damn. It's a personal preference from Formulas. I know that he likes to do this, but I don't like it. I've never been a fan of the Shroud. Like, in a few cases, yes, maybe, but I just don't feel like it's that kind of carry option.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say with this Ultimate Avatar, gives him a sweet-ass cape that he has now, so that alone is enough reason to get it on this guy.
Okay.
All right. I see what you're saying, though. It's especially since, you know, you got the icon now in Doctor. Yeah, it really does seem like they're really relying on Swiftblade to be that later game carry, and, you know, is Assassin Shroud the greatest tool for that? You can argue it's probably not, but will allow him to kind of get in there and try to jump that Clanks, which no doubt is going to be a goal here.
But he's not going to be the one to jump him either, like, or he's not going to be able to focus him with a null stone.
Yeah.
He needs a brutalizer or anything like that. In that case, just keep him put.
Well, and then there's the idea that there's constantly going to be rev wards down as we see here because they're already dealing with Fade on top of that, and worrying about what he's doing.
Good point to make. Like, why pick up Assassin Shroud when you already got a Fade on your team as well? Yeah.
So it's, yeah, it really is actually seeming like maybe not the best choice here from Formless, but in the end, bottom tower, they're going to basically give it up. I mean, Midas may try for the deny. Oh my god, he got it. Fuzzy Sloth, what a big play. The stomp, though, happening from Behemoth. He's being locked down somewhat. Will it be enough in the long run? Doesn't look like it. In fact, Clanks, he takes a transmute. He needs to be careful. Here comes Swiftplay with the Assassin Shroud, but he knew it was too much of a risk. But well played by Fuzzy Sloth. And manages to deny that secondary tower at least.
Yeah, well played by him. Unfortunately, I think it was well played by Masira as well. I mean, I think that they could have gotten the kill onto Midas, but I feel like the leading team was just a little bit too afraid. They weren't necessarily sure on where Swiftblade was located, so they felt a little bit hesitant jumping in there. But yeah, Midas was alone, so if they would have committed with 5 people, that would definitely have been a kill. But yeah, in the end, well played by Fuzzy. He gets out with the deny and his life.
Maybe don't usually get too excited about denying towers, but when you only have 6 to 5 hero kills at 27 minutes in, any kind of action's good action. Top lane, though, Behemoth, he goes down. Good jump there by Doctor, and of course that's that control coming in. In fact, Swiftblade, he's thinking about sticking around and trying something, but not really the best targets right there, and decides to fall back once again. So we are seeing Formula spending a little bit of time here trying to make some kills happen rather than continuing to farm, and we'll see if that works out in the end. It may work out right here. Swift Slash is going out. They catch Kraken. Ends up being a pretty easy kill. So back-to-back kills are successful in favor of Complexity. And they actually take the hero kill lead. So well played right there. Kind of just using
well
their
played by them, indeed.
Jump advantage.
Kraken really haven't had an impact at all in this game. I mean, look at his stats. I mean, it goes for everyone in both teams, I guess. I mean, but Kraken 1-1-0, and in the mid roll as well, with a relatively early pull key, just doesn't feel like it necessarily fits their playstyle that well.
Yeah. Kongor, that's gonna be an attempt at least from Complex. I don't know if it's gonna be an easy Kongor kill by any means. I mean, you do see Druids in the area, but they don't really have vision. They, in fact, have no vision on the Kongor pit. They do got one behind the Kongor pit, but they don't 100% know that it's going on, it seems like. And now they are heading over here.
It's a bit too late. The Doctor pulls herself out of mana, though, so they still could take this fight if they choose to do so.
He got the token. Here we go. Jumped up from Fade. I don't know about that. Yeah, that was really aggressive from what you got. Ends up actually working out decently because he does get away in the end, so. But yeah, if he tried to force a fight right there with Doctor having no mana, that could have been really costly for them.
Yeah, that's good. And Dr. Repulsor was the one who picked up the token as well, so he would have been just like, okay, just
kill me,
heading straight to the team fight, just kill me. But yeah,
works out.
All right, it worked out. Yeah,
works out in the end for them. So that's the good news for Complexity. And now you have a Doctor with a token of life who has full mana and full life at this point, and that's obviously very scary. So that's great news there. You also now got a Dancing Blade on Quick. Oh, wow. A Dancing Blade on Clanks, though. And that means a Wing Bow's in the works, and that's going to definitely be quite the damage increase. So what's been a very defensive build so far will now start to transition into more aggressive, more offensive, and that'll be ideal.
Is Probask really skipping the Ice Brand?
He is skipping the Ice Brand, yes.
I don't think this ever happened before.
That is happening this game. It's a new leaf, man. Times are changing. We got the off season here. We got the Onslaught #2 starting, and obviously a new Holland tour ahead of us. So figures let's try some new things.
Maybe it's Haxter and was like, "You're not going Icebrand." Like that was the one condition he had if he were to join the team.
He's learning from Haxter, yeah. That's
if you're going to play the carry in my team, you're not going for an Icebrand.
Yeah, Hax comes in and takes over the team and tells him how to play. Knowing Hax, that's definitely not happening. He's just a fun guy, and he's probably just like, sure, I'll play, whatever. You don't even need to pay me if we win. I just want to play Han. That was my horrible Danish accent. That's
okay.
Horrible. Anyways. What you got level 11, so he's hit kind of that peak here of where it's actually pretty damn powerful now as far as the uptime of it, but
what if Revelation's gonna find a fade?
Oh no, yeah, he gets spotted by the dust right there, but the teammates are ready to react. Swap out from Andromeda. There's the Behemoth Shockwave, but it was in the back. He tried a portal key, I believe, but it didn't work out right there. Swift Slashes then cuts down Clanks, and now Cersei being chased down. She has not been able to ult it just yet. She won't get the opportunity. She falls. Down goes Behemoth, and off to the side is just Kraken all of a sudden by himself. It looks like he is going to be able to make the escape initially. And in the end, he will. But, yeah, Behemoth, the Shockwave mess up. I think that was a big part of it right there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if he was cancelled or if it was just a misclick. I don't think anything cancelled him. It wasn't anything nearby.
No.
So that was probably just a misplay by Macera. That's unfortunate because
replay,
it started out very well. I mean, the fight itself, finding Fade in the fog, but after that, yeah, it's just backfired big time.
I will say, yeah, oh yeah, so he fissure stunned and then he shockwaved right after the fissure. I mean, it was just so awkward because you would never fissure stun first. You would think you would jump in first with a shockwave and then fissure after, but yeah, I really think that was just a misclick of some sorts coming out from Behemoth there. But in the end, it's not the greatest help for them. And I will say, also watching the replay there again, spotting Fade when they did and having the jump, that was good in essence, but he was still in the trees, and that made it difficult to get to him still. And that also caused a little bit of angle issues, I think. So, in the end, not working out for them in complexity. They got their very comfortable lead now.
And Dr. Pulsar actually got 12 charges on his icon now. So, they're stacking up.
And he does. Token's a minute remaining here. They are stacking, but Shockwave's not up for 15 more seconds.
Yeah, Swiftblade is out of mana, so he doesn't have mana for his Swift slashes.
Yeah.
Need to be a little bit careful. I still think they should take a fight, though.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of mana at level 3 for an agility hero like him, but 350 mana that he needs total. But
You've got a bottle here.
Yep.
Provided by Fuzzy, I would assume.
Yeah. Cersei, also the other thing, obviously wasn't able to get off that Twisted Visage either in that last fight, so that's another key why maybe not working out the best. And let's just say that's probably the main reason you pick up a hero like Cersei, is to make use of that ultimate. I mean, the illusions are nice and all and a great tool throughout the game, but definitely that ultimate is why you pick her up. So wanting to use those in fights is very key and important here. Not able to do it that last one. Dr. Repulsor, yeah, got the icon, the 12 charges you're talking about, but now it's a life brand, and you would safely guess a Grimoire of Power coming up next. So passing up on the Hellfire altogether here is Asuka.
Yeah, Clank's just got his Wingbow is about to get delivered here. Not entirely sure if they want to do something with it though. Like, both teams there is playing so passive. I mean, Complexity was putting on a little bit of pressure, but that was just because they had a token. And just want to say that top lane.
I don't know what Macera's doing with this decision here. That's actually, I'll get that in a second. But Kraken now, he's in trouble too. He's going to try to get away. He charges, but he charges right into Midas. He still has shrunken out, but it's not going to matter. All 5 are here. Down goes Kraken, and that's another kill for Complexity. But with Behemoth, he's fissuring first and then jumping in and shockwaving. That doesn't make any sense to me with the comboing of the abilities. You usually want to jump in first, shockwave, and then fissure, if anything, to get the better angle when you do get in there, as far as the fissure stun goes. So
yeah. I mean, the only reason I see for why you would use the fissure first is if you want to burst someone down like really quick before like the backup arrives. In that case, I mean, fissure and into the shockwave buys you half a second or something. But other than that, yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, then there's the other downside too, and I think that might happen right there. He actually killed a couple of creeps with a fissure stun as well.
Oh,
initially.
Yeah,
so it's like that's another reason why you're just taking away damage from the eventual shockwave that you're doing. So, but yeah, that's now back-to-back times we've seen him do with that kind of combo there. So.
I mean, usually a good thing to do before you jump in is to use your enrange or enraged for a second ability, so that you got that up and running, and then you shockwave in, fissure, hit him once, and then you use the enrage
short
again.
Cooldown,
yeah, so you get 2 enrage spells off. But yeah, using the fissure first, yeah, it's definitely not paying off so far. And look at Swiftblade here now in the mid lane, by the way, Clanks, and Behemoth is nearby, but of course no shockwave. It's on cooldown.
Yep, not able to use that here. Clanks, though, he's got the full wing bow, but look at what Swiftblade has, the Savage Mace in response. So, Quincy being busy with real-life stuff, those darn phone calls. But yeah, no, he's got the Savage Mace here, so in essence, of course, a counter to the wing bow, as well as just extra great lockdown, and of course just nice damage on top of that. Grimoire power finished on Doctor.
Oscar at the top, yeah.
Speaking of him, he is in a little bit of trouble right here. He does have ludicrous speed, but it's not going to be the most mana, and he can't even really use it in the end, so Hacks earning credit for the kill right there on Kraken. So good find on a Doctor.
Yeah.
And
it's
actually,
going to drop 7 charges as well on Icon.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Swiftblade was found by an Invis Behemoth, but his teammates were just a little too far away, so couldn't really make much of that. But yeah, this kind of goes back to Doctor's build though again with the Grimoire. I don't like it. It just really, it's one thing to maybe go the Grimoire first, as we've seen it very rarely in maybe a short lane farming Doctor, but to get it later on in the game, its Hellfire is just so good.
Swiftblade. He's gonna be the one to initiate.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought he was gonna be in trouble, but he had full control.
No, that's the power of the session. Oh, well, there's the shockwave jump, but not the prettiest because the backup wasn't necessarily all there. Swiftblade, Cersei does take over Swiftblade though, pops the Swift Slashes. It doesn't get a kill though, it will eventually with a spin on a fade, and he is going to chase down a Luna on top of that. So a double tap for Serenia right there as the real Swiftblade is on the run, trying to get away in the long run.
Probusk, he has no idea where it is, but he's looking for him.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, he's going to be fine here. So, okay. So the RNG, he's probably getting the RNG with the Swift Slashes, I'm guessing right there, but darn it, my V-Bun's stuck. Give me 1 second right here once again. There we go. Work. Work. There we go. Okay. Stupid buttons. Anyways, though, but yeah, I mean, that worked out, right, for Druids right there. In fact, they're pushing now with this.
It could have been a little better if Masira actually hit the shockwave onto the Swiftblade.
Yeah. And
they would have gotten the kill, but yeah, it still worked out, I guess. I mean, they got up some tower as well, but they need a lot more, I feel.
I'm watching it right here on the replay again. You see the initial pick on Andromeda, just 3-shot him right there. But then there's that shockwave. Yeah, not the pit. It didn't stun Swiftblade, and then tried to chase up to him, but there's the turn. But yeah, Serenia doing a great job of taking over Swiftblade. Again, not the maximum damage that he has, only being level 2 of it, but the Swift Slash is more than enough damage to get 1 and 2
Poor
kills.
Andromeda is down here all by himself or herself and not realizing that she's about to get surrounded by 5 people. Actually, she's going to get away safely.
It looks like, at least for now, yeah, she's going to be fine. Assassin Shroud, I heard it. Where is it? Swiftblade, oh, he's at Congo Pit.
No, Doctor, you gotta kill this Cersei illusion.
Scouts it out. Oh, plan right there. Not working out necessarily the easiest, so the Legion team has an idea that they're trying Conqueror. But in the end...
Yeah, Shroud on Probusk now as well, by the way. There's a puzzle box on Fate, though, and Boundai onto Midas, so I actually feel like that's... I don't know.
Is that the best choice? Honestly, well, no, I wouldn't want to see a Frost, but what about just like a Geometer's Bane, even? Seems
yeah, I
like
don't know. Probusk doesn't like Geometer's Bane on Clanks because it disjoints your flight.
Okay.
But there's still, like, you can still pick it up, I feel. I mean, you can just use it before you use the flight, for example. But I think that's the reason for why Probusk personally doesn't pick it up, at least, on that hero.
Yeah, I also feel just like, honestly, the Savage Mace at this point might have just raw damage, but it would have made more sense. But
yeah.
Because now, in essence, he has almost like 3 defensive tools, kind of, with the Assassin Shroud, the Shrunken, and the Nullstone, so... And hell, I mean to an extent with the Wingbow too.
Yeah.
The evasion, but
it's been working out decently for Swiftblade so far, I gotta say. So maybe Probusk is having the same idea, but with a puzzle box and a Boundai already on the Hellborn side, I just don't see it being worth it.
Yeah. I see the Courier scouting it out. Fade's probably gonna pick off the Courier right here. Oh, we need 1 more. Oh, we can't. No, what is he doing? Okay, I thought he portal keyed forward. I was like, no, what are you doing? Anyways, Courier stays alive. Oh, wow. Flanks is current 11.5. Really? Wow, yeah, he has 465 creep kills. Holy crap. At 41 minutes. That is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Robust is doing work here.
Are Complex going to give this up?
Going to fall. Yeah, I'm surprised as you are. It just happens. I mean, they're just not... I guess when it comes to team fights, they're not necessarily the most confident.
No, they don't have the Behemoth Shockwave, for example, or the Kraken. Release the Kraken ability. Nothing like that. And the Sursa, of course, as well. They need to cancel him, so I guess they weren't comfortable enough.
Well, they're going to go to the top lane now. Dr. Repulsor. You do see.
Dr. Repulsor has no impact whatsoever. She's a little bit like Kraken in this game. She's gotten a few kills here and there, but her item build just, in teamfights at least, she has 0 impact so far. She needs a BKB and like a sheepstick before she can actually do something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier, too. It's just like, I mean, they already have Swiftblade who's clearly building, I mean, he's getting the farm and everything. He is their true hard carry. They didn't necessarily need another, like, hard carry option in this Dr. Pulse. I almost feel like that's what he's trying to go for. But in Doctor's, if you want to carry on him, exactly, you usually want more of that lockdown, such as the Sheepstick or the Hellflower instead, because of how the hero works, you know, being able to jump and whatnot very easily. So, it looks like he is going for a Shrunken and now, but still, he will not have that lockdown tool, and that definitely hurts a little bit.
So we're going into a base trade scenario here, potentially. Dr. Repulsor, though, is not with his team, and he does not have a port.
Really? Oh, yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, for 19
or
seconds.
He does have a port, but it's on, yeah, exactly. It's on cooldown, so he cannot get back to the base.
Well, tower, it's going to fall pretty quickly. I'm trying to find, this is the real Clinks, I believe. Yeah, it is. Okay, ooh, we'll have to pause the game. It's not tournament rules, I guess, but...
This is messy. The Millirex is going to go down.
It's just about to die. So they vote to pause. Yeah, it wasn't on tournament rules, so obviously we had to do the countdown there and everything, but... Well... Did Fade jump? Oh, yeah, Fade did jump in. The BM's real.
Yeah, and he missed a stun, so if the leading team would want to, they could commit to a kill onto Fade. I mean, Probus could immediately start punting onto the auto attacks onto Fade. She doesn't have the ultimate either, so she cannot go in this. Pretty sure the Probus would, like, 3-4 shot him.
Alright, so yeah, I don't know what's going on right here, but they should just remake. Just remake, guys.
Yeah, please.
Let's turn on tournament rules. Just remake. It's fine. don't encourage them. The troll's real. But yeah, no. Obviously, you do see right here again the melee Rax. It's taking a lot of damage. I mean, it's going to fall. It's pretty much. They've already used invulnerability, I believe, right? I think they did. So.
Yeah, they have.
The illusions, if anything, are going to kill it off. Yeah.
Kill the illusion, then!
Oh, barely got it, but it doesn't matter. The other one's like, oh, I got this. Good Giro finish on Probus.
Port home, Legion team! Port home!
Yeah? Well, I guess the bottom lane, yeah.
Yes, they need
to oh, wow, yeah, the Millirex is almost dead. I didn't even realize that. That's what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, they will get there in time.
What the hell did the Complexity do, though? I mean, they had the opportunity to trade. And trade efficiently, even. I mean, they could have gotten both the Raxes down here at the bot lane, the melee Rax and the ranged Rax, and they could have kept their ranged Rax alive. So they would have coming out of that with the upper hand, but instead just trying to port back and defend it when Clank's already had a token as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a misplay by them.
See a ward of sight down here by Baba Ganoush is going to spot several heroes roaming down. In fact, Midas. He's here by himself. They know he's here somewhere. He's going to portal key, try to make the escape. He has a lot of abilities to do it.
That he does. Damn.
Yeah, he's good. Portal key, tablet, and elemental warp. So makes the escape. Good to go. Ooh, nice regen rune for Asuka. I'll pick that up and make use of it here. Try to at least. So Clank still has token for another 2 minutes, and yeah, they're working their way bottom now. Oh, Fade. Oh, that bound eye, though. You got to be really careful with that.
Yeah, the Behemoth, though, they got a regeneration rune.
They're setting. Doctor goes in the back, and they jump right for Kraken. Behemoth dead, Kraken dead, just like that. It's a 2-for-0 exchange. However, Midas gets a good damage out. Swap coming out right there. Clanks out to the side. He's putting in some right clicks, but it's not going to be enough. He's trying to run away. He does have that token. He's going to be end up falling right there. All his teammates are dead, though. He comes right back up, and he dies shortly after. Double tap for Formless to finish it. And they completely wipe them out. It's a genocide, a 5-for-0 genocide in favor of Complexity Gaming.
And that was really beautiful on their part. I mean, what you got, getting that. He ran straight into the Boundai vision, but he got a stun off beforehand, getting both the Kraken and the Behemoth into one stun, and that just, yeah, beautiful by them. I mean, Legion team did not expect that at all, having the token on Clank, so they were just playing that casually, just running around. But suddenly, Complexity strikes. 5 for nothing.
That perfect, John. I mean, those are the two heroes, the Kraken and Behemoth, that you're worried about initiating you. They got both of them next to each other. And the Regen Rune Doctor, I mean, yeah, that just, everything, just watching the replay reminds you how perfect that fight went right there for Complexity. And in the meantime, we did see the Melee Racks go down now. Several buybacks were used by Druids, actually, as you see.
After the Melee Racks was dead.
Yeah, it was basically dead. They were hoping to maybe catch them, but it didn't happen. Serenia, Probusk, and Iceland Gogo all using a buyback right there and are unsuccessful in the end. So that's pretty costly. Now down one of those.
Yeah, just when they got into the lead, getting that Melee Racks at the top, they lose a major team fight and use like 3 buybacks.
Yeah.
So now they are Complexity once again ahead.
Genjiro now finished by Swiftblade in the meantime as well, so he's got plenty of damage output to work with here. You know, I will say though, and again, that was the perfect initiation from Complexity. This game's not over yet though, because we've seen this, and even Complexity knows, clearly with not defending Conquerors and everything, that when it comes to true initiation in team fights, Behemoth and Kraken definitely play a big role in that. And if Druids gets the jump themselves, then this could be a completely different story here in this game. So you still got to be a little careful for Complexity.
I like what Oscar is doing, just running around here, placing his contraption spells in the forest, trying to get vision.
Oh, the contraption, yeah. Just for some vision here, but might as well make good use of that. So the push continues, though, by Druids. They know that they have their cooldowns, whereas maybe a couple are down from Complexity, but not really. And they don't have any.
Fate used his ultimate, by the way, and it's going to run out soon, so he's not going to have that available.
He's got 14 more seconds here, so. Oh, there's the Rev Ward, though, and of course the Boundai that they do still have. Tower goes down, but here we go. Fate, he jumps on a Behemoth in the background. He was in animation right there. The Swift Slash just cuts right through him, though. Down goes Behemoth in the background. That's an illusion, Cersei. The real one, well, the real one's dead. So Clanks in the meantime flying around, trying to put into right clicks once again, but no, he gets locked down with the Transmute, and Druids is falling to pieces right here. Propus goes down, Andromeda falls. Another 5-0 genocide, and I think that's a point of this game could be over. Back-to-back 5-0 genocide cleanups by Complexity.
Yeah, they need to be more careful though with the positioning. Like Behemoth and Kraken, I think it's quite obvious that Fade and Dr. Boozer are going to try to jump them. So they're still very, very exposed being in that kind of position that they were in that case. But yeah, Complexity Gaming once again, nice initiation, and they're all looking to take this game number 1 out. I don't see the Legion team stopping them. I mean, Clanks is just completely tapered off at this point. He doesn't deal any damage. And I mean, I gotta blame the item build a little bit, but it's mostly about the team support. He just doesn't have anyone to support him. It's only Andromeda.
Absolutely, but I definitely think the lack of damage, I mean, it's something we both were criticizing throughout this game, and it is Provost playstyle, I get that, but when you have, in essence, 4 items that are bringing some kind of defensive mechanism to them, too, I'm not saying a Wingbow's defensive. I'm not saying that Genjiro's a very defensive item, but that's what they're good for as well. They're not the true raw damage like a Savage, like a Rift Shards, things like that. You could have argued at least one of those items should have been a Savage Mace instead, and maybe a different story as far as that damage output threat. But he went for the very defensive mindset, and I definitely think that was a role too. But yeah, no doubt supporting Cast as well hasn't necessarily been there. And, you know, we were talking about Behemoth, he hasn't been able to get his initiation. But honestly, Cersei, I don't think we've seen her use a Twist of Visage since like the 20-minute mark in this game. No. So that's no doubt another big deal here.
There's just no time for her. Her teammates can't buy her enough time for her to actually channel her ultimate. She doesn't have the luxury to do it.
Oh, look at this. Fades. He's very comfortable now. He's at a point, level 3 puzzle blocks here. He's going to see if he can maybe find a solo kill even, but he would need a little bit of helping out in that. Or maybe they're by themselves, one of the supports. Not going to happen, though. In the end, we'll go back middle here. But you can tell, I mean, it's like Druids, what do? Well, they're going to try the same exact thing here. they're going to yet again group up bottom and try for a 3rd time in a row right here. Let's see. They've gotten 5-0 genocide both times. Is this one different for some reason? Maybe, but
I don't think so. As long as the Hellborn team is on the same page and just decides to, okay, here we go, and then they jump as a coordinated 5-man unit, like, there's no way they can lose. As long as they activate their BKBs at the same time as they jump in, like, there's nothing that they need to fear.
Yeah.
Actually, what's going on?
They're already pounding into the racks, and in fact, they get it down to about a third of its life right here. So a beautiful start, but there's a lockdown on the Clanks. Here's a follow-up. Transmute comes out. Swiftblade, he has an R ready to go. There's a swap up from Andromeda. Andromeda now obviously in a lot of trouble, though. She goes down, but they get the melee racks. Meanwhile, top lane, Swiftblade has his illusions doing work down here, but back to the bottom. Clean up onto a couple. They did end up killing Clanks, and Cersei now caught as well. So, I mean, they're exchanging racks, but you're ultimately losing the game here. And, yeah, GG, well played. I know chances were very slim at that point, so really don't to overanalyze that last fight there. But 50 minutes in, Complexity will be victorious over Druids here in the game one.
That I will. They had a real nice map control compared to the Legion team. I mean, with the puzzle box, with the Fade ultimate, with the Bound Die onto Midas that he purchased quite early on into the game. And the Legion team just never had a chance when it came to controlling the map. So they had their opportunities, but yeah, a little bit of a defensive build on Clanks, and then Kraken as well having zero impact in this game. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all, or it doesn't come down to Haxor and playing poorly, it just comes down to the draft, like versus a Midas, versus a Dr. Repulsor, versus a Swiftblade. Like there's no point in having a release the Kraken ultimate.
Yeah.
But yeah, well played by Complexity and looking quite strong, and it didn't seem like Russia had too much trouble with that latency either.
Yeah, he definitely did pretty solid there. 5, 2, and 6 overall. You know, able to farm about 240 gold per minute. Not too shabby, but we'll see in game number 2. Again, these are just 2-game series right here, so you're playing for points ultimately. But we'll see how game number 2 shapes up here. It's going to swap sides and get that one started here in the near future. But ladies and gentlemen, a short break coming at you. We'll be right back. Game number 2 going to be coming out. Complexity Gaming versus Druids here. This is the Onslaught number 2 group stages here on Honcast. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.